Pe0ple's, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button and turn your notifications so you are notified each time I upload. And please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a white girl who actually came out to say that all her life she's been dreaming that she's gonna live in a Sundown town without knowing what Sundown town means. Like, she was making joke out of it. That was how I saw it. And I understand people, if you like, how come you don't know Sundown town but you want to live there? Okay, you think it's a pretty place and you never took your time to, like, probably Google, check that, Google that and all that. It's all right. And then coming out online to make a video laughing, joking about it, it's something that I do not find funny. And a lot of people, majority of Black people are no more because of Sundown towns. And the fact that Sundown towns still legally exist in so many places, Mississippi, Texas, so many places, it's something I find weird, that people knew that these places still exist. Some cops are also part of what is going on in Sundown towns. And some of the cops collaborate with some indigents, or to get some people lean and chain, probably when they drive through the place and do not know that this place is a Sundown town, and then get them killed for no just reason. Why? Because it is just a Sundown town. A lot of Black people have lost their lives because of Sundown town, and Sundown town is still very, 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 very much active in 2023. And that's why I keep telling people, I keep advising people, before you travel, especially when you have to drive through some places, I want you to make sure that you know where you are driving through and where you are stopping, because you might be stopping where you will not be found anymore. Alright, I'm just gonna roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. So straight up,
I've told like 100 people that I want to live in a Sundown town when I grow up, because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the tiny little American towns like Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls, or like from Paper Towns, when it's like it doesn't exist on a map for some reason. Like the cute American towns where there's like literally 20 people and they all drive pickup trucks. That's what I thought a Sundown town was. I only learned this year off of this app that is very much not what a Sundown town is. Why have cute name if not cute? Do you know what I mean? Ah! I've told like 100 people that I want to live in a Sundown town when I grow up, because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the tiny...
Girl, you could have kept this for the group chat. In fact, you probably should have. I love the way you try to giggle your way through the video as if, Sundown towns were something to be giggled about and not something to be horrified by. Honey, there's bodies of people who look like me because they stayed 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes beyond the time that those racist monsters would emerge to take their lives in the most horrid, torturous, terrible ways. You think it's funny enough to post on TikTok? For real? There's nothing wrong with not knowing things. There's nothing wrong with being ill-informed about things. But that's why we had the internet. That's why we have all these resources, so we can learn. Not so we can come to TikTok and make a goofy little video showing how blatantly ignorant we are and forget the fact that these places cause mass death. Stop it.
I've told like 100 people that I want to live in a Sundown town when I grow up, because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the tiny...
Sometimes I think about what it would be like to be ignorant, and be ignorant and white. Because the way that they are able to just go throughout life without a single thought in their head, or a single care about anyone other than themselves, is amazing. When I don't know stuff, I look it up. I go to Google, and Google's free. So what's your excuse? Because she said, I've been saying this for years, and I didn't realize till this year from TikTok what it really was. So you continue to say something that you knew nothing about for years, and not once did you think to Google it? amazing. Your brain is amazing. Amazing way of thinking. I would never have thought of that. And to say it with the biggest smile on your face, and to say it and post it to your millions of followers to see. Like, wow. I will never understand this way of thinking. It is it's below common sense. I didn't even know you could go below common sense. To say that, post it on TikTok to your millions of followers with the biggest smile on your face that you have willingly been ignorant to something for years because you didn't want to look it up. And then to have all of your followers say, oh, I didn't know what that was either. I didn't know what that was either. Okay, but you guys also didn't make jokes about it. And you guys can go Google it, because I didn't know what that was in 2016, and then I Googled it. And it was that simple. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. I just don't understand.
I told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the time.
So we can use this as a teaching opportunity for other white people, and I'm not going to do your homework for you, but go ahead and Google what a sundown town is. Understand that we still very much have those in this country. Then ask yourself why this creator would laugh about them. Even if she's pointing out that, I made a joke and it wasn't like funny. Then ask yourself how privilege plays into her reaction. Then try to understand that impact is always bigger than intent. It doesn't matter if you're joking. It doesn't matter if you don't know or if you're ignorant. The things you have to say matter, especially when you have a big fucking platform. There are too many resources available to be this fucking obtuse. Do better.
I told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that.
As someone who grew up in a sundown town, it always amazes me that people don't know what they are. And I'm not trying to throw too much shade at this girl, because she's not even from America. And even if she was, most Americans don't even know what sundown towns are and that they literally still exist. They're too busy out here trying to whitewash history and convince people that slavery was beneficial to black people. But because I'm so generous with my time and energy, here's a little bit of information about sundown towns. Pause to read. For those of you who think that sundown towns exist primarily in the South, give your state a Google. I bet you there's a shit ton of them there. I live in Maryland, which, granted, is below the Mason-Dixon line, but it is still considered a northern state. My sundown town goes by the name of Savage, Maryland. And it's so ridiculous that the deed literally states that a person with a drop of Negro blood cannot own it. It's still definitely a sundown town. It's 2023, so.
I told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the time.
I find it really interesting that some British people love to talk about how Americans are ignorant. And then I come on this app and this bitch is running her mouth about the tragic history, and it's still happening today, actually, of black people getting lynched. It's not a joke. And for her to come on here and try to get some content and likes out of this is just pure disrespect. Just because you have a king doesn't make you a princess. You're still a commoner.
I told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that was.
It's giving your parents are going to pay for a wedding for you on a slave plantation. At best, you didn't know what a sundown town was, and that's a product of the lack of education on white American history as well as black American history, overall American history. At worst, you knew what a sundown town was, and you decided to do this for, I don't know, shits and giggles. Some of y'all thinking that being ignorant to accurate history is going to save you. Go read a book and wash your bed sheets.
I told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the.
Oh my god, guys, I just found out I've been telling people I've been wanting to go to a concentration camp, not a campground. Oh my god. Oopsie.
I told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the time.
I watched that video before it got deleted, when it was stitched by a creator I follow. And I could not believe my eyes. Well, I could, because I'm intelligent. However, I was disgusted. I'm not surprised, I'm disgusted. What? In what context is anyone saying that sundown towns are good? Name them. Give me a list. What? And then you're like, well, I know what it is now. And I thought it was so funny. I need you to look in the mirror. And I need you to tell that story to yourself. And then your apology, coincidentally, is 1 minute and 8 seconds long. 1 minute and 8 seconds long. And for the people who don't know why that's relevant, it's because the TikTok Creator Fund changed their terms, and so your video has to be over 1 minute long to get money off of it. So not only are you ignorant, but you're also enjoying money made off of Black people's pain and discomfort and anger. And then I saw a video of her saying that she was in some sort of depressive episode. I wonder why. I'm not even going to get into the ancestors. If I was a shit person, I would be in a depressive episode too. If I was a person that thought it was a good idea, a quirky little idea, to talk about sundown towns and tell people that I wanted to live in one when I was a kid, because I'm just a quirky, funny white girl on the internet, I would be depressed too. You could have kept that to yourself. The crazy part is, no one asked you. No one asked you to disclose this information. Not one person. So you volunteered this information for what? What did you think we were going to say? What did you think in your brain? What was the thought process? What thoughts crossed your mind as you said the story, looked at yourself in the camera, telling the story, and posted it? Good luck, girl.
I've told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the tiny.
Why are you saying it like that? Like, why are you laughing? I'm so confused. Like, I've watched that video like 3 times and she's like, I wanted to live in a sundown town because I didn't know what it was. Then you continue to laugh and then you didn't explain what they are. Like, and everyone's just like kiki like it's a big jokey joke. Like, what? Sundown towns are places where after dark, it would get dark in like certain small towns in like the South. And if you were Black mostly, like, or not white, they would lynch you in very horrific ways. So why is that funny that you mistook that for like a tiny little Gilmore Girls town? Like, that's not funny. Keep in mind, this was not that long ago. Like, my grandparents are still alive. Like you literally awoke me from my TikTok slumber to like, what? And then everyone's like, someone please tell me where the joke is. Like, I'm so confused.
I told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the tiny.
All right, if you look like me, we need to talk about this. Not about what a sundown town is, but about that video and her reaction to learning what it is. When you're engaging in anti-racism and trying to be a good ally, Often you will be told that you are centering yourself, and sometimes it's kind of confusing to know what that means. It's this. She just centered herself in this conversation around what a sundown town is. She made it all about how silly and goofy she felt. How it's just, oh my God, look at me, I'm so quirky, I didn't know what it meant. She made it all about how she was so embarrassed about it. Instead of saying, hey, I learned this thing today, and I want to share it with other people that look like me in case you don't know. But as white people, we often do this. We take racism and the history of racism and we make it about how uncomfortable it makes us. And then we want to talk to people of color, specifically Black women, about how uncomfortable we are, about how bad we feel. Stop it. Sit down, journal about it. Don't post shit like this.
I've told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that...
You know, sometimes I am jealous that I'm not a quirky white girl in this country because I wonder what it's like to have the privilege to be that fucking stupid.
I've told like 100 people that I want to live in a sundown town when I grow up because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought that they were like the time.
So I saw my line video yesterday and she was like, oh, I thought that sundown town was a really cute thing. And I started commenting, and most people didn't know what a sundown town is. A sundown town is a town where people of color or Black people aren't allowed to be in when the sun goes down. So they can work there, but they will still face discrimination, lynching, brutality, violence, harassment. Like, most people are white, and it's like very dangerous to pass a sundown town or even to try to work in a sundown town even today, even if it was something that was really more common back then and more known, because I feel like a lot of people don't know what it is right now. But the South still has sundown town. The term sundown town came from the town's warning African Americans saying stuff like, don't let the sun go down on you in da-da-da. Even though the term sundown town refers to the forced exclusion of Black people, the history of sundown towns include Jews, Native American, Chinese, Japanese, and other people of color. So as I said before, the term derives from the signs that were put in. Like, you can travel there during the daytime, you can work there during daytime, but you cannot be there when the sun goes down. You can pause to read, but basically this state that even during the daytime, Black people would face hostility, killing, lynching. It was dangerous to simply be there even during daytime, but at nighttime it was like more dangerous. You can see some of the signs that sundown town had. For example, whites only after dark, a good place to leave, no N-word. Cool summers, mild winters, no blizzard, no N-word. You can see what would happen if Black people would try to be there, no job opportunity. They wouldn't be able to be part of the community, because if you don't have a job, you don't have a place to live, you cannot actually stay there if people forced you out of the community. People have this idea that sundown towns no longer exist, but as you can see from this article from 2021, a Black driver who had a problem in a sundown town. So, that's when you find yourself in trouble, when you literally drive in those places even today. He basically stopped to get gas at the station, and the cashier was like, you best not be around after dark, this is a sundown town. And this was in 2021. So sundown town still exists, and there are places where Black people are very much still not welcomed today. So he's basically explaining that even today there are places in the United States where you're not gonna go because you're Black, and so racism is like very alive in those places, and it's still dangerous. If you continue the article, there are other posters that you would see, like, don't let the sun set on you here, N-word in Mississippi, or ain't no N-word allowed.
So this is all I got from the video. I don't know what is funny from what the lady, how she said, it's okay if you don't know anything about the sundown town, but coming out here to make a video about it and giggling and all that, I feel like she knew, or she just want to make make some money, or like get engagement from it. I mean, one of the ladies said that sundown town, that her grandparents experienced it. I am so sorry to announce to you that there are so many sundown towns till this very moment. This, like the last speaker was saying, 2021. In 2023, there are so much active sundown towns, and from last year to this very moment, the record death from sundown town are so much. And I remember to this very moment, Black people are still fighting for about how many persons that were also killed in Sundown town, which before they were killed, they also called their families. Some also dialed 911. But before, you know what's up with 911 when they are being called, especially a Black person, they end up coming really pretty late, and by the time they get there, I mean, the deed has been done. Probably the person has already been alive and the rest of it. So Sundown town is very much alive, and there are still so many evil, and it's thriving till this very moment. So many evil happening, and I even saw, like, you know, there were some girls that were actually posted in a Sundown town for a work, and they said that we're not going. And they told the company, if you are gonna sack me, but I ain't going to a Sundown town to work for how many days and all that. And the kind of things that are still happening in Sundown town is something that I keep asking myself. Why is it that the government knew that Sundown town still exists? Why is it that they knew that Black people are still being laid and shamed in Sundown town and other people of color, but majority of Black people are still being laid and shamed, and they are not doing anything about it? I mean, it's just so horrible how, I mean, the things like your ancestors went through, you can imagine how many years. Till this very moment, it's still happening. And some people are going to come here and say, there are no more Sundown towns. If you say that shit, I am just going to get mad at you, because they are so much alive. And they are going to come and tell you, get over it. It was the ancestors that experienced it. Which ancestors? The ones that are still happening to this very moment, or the ones that are not happening? So very much, they are still very much alive. And people, if you want to make jokes out of people's ordeal, out of people's problem, I think you are also part of the problem. I understand if you say you do not understand what it means, and then try to explain or try to talk about it. But then coming to giggle, like, you know, do you know how many people in 2023 there are no more because of Sundown towns? And you find that really funny. Sometimes I keep saying it, some people are really unbelievable. I mean, this is not something someone should come out on the internet to laugh about or to giggle about, because it's a big deal for Black people. Do you know what it means that you cannot go to a certain place, like, you know, or maybe mistakenly you don't know about it and you drive through it and decide to probably come out to eat, or probably come out from your car to buy gas and all that? I mean, it means you will be no more. And someone think it's funny. There is nothing funny about it. This is where I am going to draw the curtain. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.